Welcome to Science Easy Tech channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about interview method which comes under Unit 5, that is data collection methods. This video will be useful for Bsc Nursing, post-basic Bsc Nursing and also students who are studying Msc Nursing. Already we have posted some videos related to data collection methods as well as one of the data collection method questionnaire. If you have not watched those videos, I have given the link of Nursing Research and Statistics playlist in the description box, suggested end card and iCard. Before moving on to the topic, if you are new to Science Easy Tech channel, just take a moment to subscribe our channel and also to press the notification bell icon in order to get connected with our latest updates. Let's move on to the topic. The content what we are going to discuss in this video is interview method. So interview, what is an interview? An interview is a conversation between two or more people where questions are asked by the interviewer to obtain information from the interview. So here a conversation between an interviewer and an interviewee. So here the interviewer is going to ask some questions to the research subject so that they will be giving answers to those questions and the interviewer will be interpreting the answers or the information collected or gathered. It may be defined as the two-way systematic conversation. The systematic means step-by-step conversation between an investigator and an informant initiated for obtaining information relevant to a specific study. So in the interview, you are going to pose questions to the subject with regard to the problem under study, with regard to a statement of the problem, what you want to find out. Based on that, you are going to pose the questions to the interviewee. So this is with regard to the definition of interview. Next we will move on to some of the characteristics of the interview technique. The participants, the interviewer and the respondents are strangers. So initially they are strangers. So we have to maintain a good verbal rapport, that is interpersonal relationship, before taking an interview, because you don't know the participant as well as the participant may not know you. So it is a mode of obtaining verbal answers to questions which are put verbally. So here you are going to ask verbal questions and the participant is going to answer those questions verbally. So it is a verbal technique of data collection. Investigator records information furnished by respondents. Sometimes so in the investigator, whatever they are telling, they will be noting it down, or sometimes the interview can be either video recorded or it can be tape recorded. So it is a conversation with a specific purpose. So you have a specific point of conducting an interview. Without a purpose, no work is going to have a fruitful result. So in an interview also, without a purpose, you cannot ask questions. So your purpose of the study, you have to concentrate and you have to conduct in the interview by conversing with the subject. It should not need face to face because it can be conducted over telephone also. It is not necessary always it can be a face to face interview. Nowadays we are having telephonic conversation also, interviewing also. So it is a conversation between two persons and is not always limited to a single respondent. Sometimes the interview, it can be one to one person, or sometimes you can have two or more than two persons also you can have in an interview, and you can ask the questions to them. So we have seen many interviews with the celebrities and all, no, in television. So you can correlate with that aspect, how they are asking questions, how they are taking either one person single interview or more than one person interview, like that and all. It is not a standardized process. It can be modified according to the situation. See, sometimes you will be having a desired set of questionnaire. Sometimes based on, you cannot strictly follow those questionnaires. Sometimes you may have some additions or deletions with regard to the questionnaire. For example, a questionnaire, the respondent is not willing to answer, means you can, if he is telling to pass the question, means you can ask the next question. So it is doesn't mean that you have to get answer for all the questions. In such a way also you can modify the interview according to the current scenario. So these are all some of the basic characteristics of an interview. Next, moving on to benefits of interview. So you can provide in-depth and detailed information. So in-depth information and detailed information you can obtain. Then permits greater depth of response. So you can permit greater response, depth of response. So data from illiterate subjects. So even suppose if you are going to administer self-administered questionnaire and all, the respondent should be literate, that is he should be educated. So interview even to illiterate persons also you can conduct, and higher response rate will be there. You clarify misunderstandings. So clarification of any misunderstandings can be done. Ask questions at several levels. So you can ask questions at various levels, and help to gather other supplementary information. Supplementary means any extra information, any information which can contribute to the main information, like that and all you can gather from that of an interview. Use of special devices. Use of special devices like mic, amplifier, then video recording, tape recording, so that also can be used. Accuracy can be checked out. Suppose see, once if I am going to conduct an interview, if I am going to use some video recording or some tape recording, so whatever the information collected, if at all I am forgetting also, see, without any record, without noting anything, no, I can forget it, what are all the questions I have asked and what are all the questions the patient has responded. So in their own point it will be better if you are going to use some devices like video recording or tape recording. So which is suppose if you have a doubt also, you can again replay it and again you can watch it. So accuracy can be checked. Flexible and adaptable. So you can be very flexible with that of the interview schedule, based on the participants. When they are free you can plan an interview, like that and all. Then unable to write. Suppose if you are not able to write everything, and if you are not, in such a case you can very well go for an interviewer. So the types of interview, we have so many types of interview. The first type is structured interview. Structured interview means you have a standardized pattern of questions or a standardized schedule. Based on that one, it can be like a formal interview. Okay, some questions are already they have prepared, and those questions only they will be asking. Okay, so in the same order they will ask for all the participants, or for the participant who is going to participate in the interview. So this it is very much formalized, as I have told earlier. They will be having only limited set of questions. Each interviewer will be asking the same type of questions in the same order. So thereby the reliability and credibility of the research data is going to get increased. A research we have seen about reliability, validity. Also I have posted videos. If you have not watched those videos, I have given the link, as I have told earlier, of Nursing Research and Statistics in the playlist. Kindly watch it. Next is merits. Data from one interview to the next one are easily comparable. So from one interview to next interview, you can compare it easily. Recording and coding data does not pose any problem, because already the information has been recorded, and you can get the answers from those information easily. Attention is not diverted to irrelevant and time consuming conversation. Suppose if they are going to deviate from the main thing or beating around the bush, or if they are ambiguous, in such a case and all, you can make it very clear, so it avoids unnecessary wastage of time and all. Demerits, it tends to lose the spontaneity of natural conversation, because if it is an informal interview, you will be talking it very casually. Since it is a formal structured interview, only those questions which have been pre-planned will be posed to the interviewee during the interview. The scope of exploration of information of data is going to be very much limited. So the data, information and exploration is going to be very much limited. Next is unstructured interview. It is a method wherein questions can be changed to meet the respondent's intelligence, understanding and belief. Questions are changed based on how each individual person responds to the question. So it is not, you don't have a structured format. You will have some basic idea on what to ask, and depending on each individual, you will be asking the questions based on that theme. But the posing of questions may be different according to the respondent's knowledge, understanding, education level, like that and all, and what interest he is having to answer the question or not. So this is with regard to unstructured interview, which is very much informal. So the characteristics of unstructured questions are: it is not formalized and has open-ended questions. Okay, if it is closed-ended questions means it is very much formal, which is used in structured interview type. But here it is not formal, and it has more amount of open-ended questions like what is your opinion about some programs, or what is tell about your hobby. So these are all some of open-ended questions. The aim is to explore the information from the participants. It increases the reliability and credibility of research data. It facilitates natural, unstructured, unobstructed proceedings of the interview procedure. So you can talk as if you are talking very casually. The merits is it is less prone to interviewer bias. So the interviewer bias is going to get reduced. It provides greater opportunity to explore the problem in an unrestricted manner. It is useful for gathering information on sensitive topics. So it is less prone to interviewer bias. The interviewer will not have any bias. It provides a greater opportunity to explore the problem in an unrestricted manner, and it is useful for gathering information on sensitive topics. Demerits: the data cannot be comparable. Time may be wasted in unproductive conversation. So the data cannot be comparable. You cannot waste the time with unproductive conversation. Okay, so whatever is needed, you can ask it. Semi-structured interview. Semi-structured is what? Combination of both structured and unstructured interview. Some questions already you will be setting, and some questions you will ask casually as the interview process goes on. So it is a flexible method that allows new questions to be brought up during the interview depending upon the situation. So with regard to the characteristics, interviewer prepares an interview guide which is informal list of topic and questions that the interviewer can ask in different ways from different participants. So he have some schedule also, and some questions where he will be asking it very naturally or very casually. Next, moving on to in-depth interview. In-depth interview means it is with regard to a particular in-depth analysis or in-depth information collecting from the respondent with regard to their opinion, attitude, emotions on a particular topic. So here the person will be having in-depth guide. Interviewer will be having a guide on which to ask about a particular topic. They will go in detail or in depth. So focused group interview. So this is also an unstructured group interview technique where 8 to 12 members are brought together under the guidance of the trained interviewer to focus on specific phenomena. So here like a panel, they will be more than 8 to 12 members will be there, and the interviewer, one person will be interviewing all. He will be posing questions to different persons in the panel, and he will be collecting the thing. So it is also somewhat unstructured, not very much structured. So characteristics: it consists of 8 to 12 members who are homogeneous group in terms of demographic and socio-economic status. Homogeneous means same members from the same group or community. Then duration of interview may take 1 to 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Okay, so the duration of interview will be 1.5 to 2 hours. Next, all information including facial expression, body language, everything you have to record it. It has a moderator to lead the discussion. So when the discussion is going on, where to stop, where to continue, under whom to post the questions. If one person is going on giving an answer, if the others are not going to get a chance and all, then you may have talk shows and all. No, in such a case and all, you have seen various talk shows in the television and all. So like that, so it has a moderator to lead the discussion. It is free from inflexibility of formal methods. So it is not very much formal, and there is plenty of opportunity for respondents to present their viewpoints. Okay, so the respondents that can share their viewpoints. Next, the merits are wide range of information can be collected. It stimulates new ideas as well as various creative concepts. One person comments may trigger a response from another one. So if one person responds, so for that the other person can give answer. So it increases your excitement, curiosity, like that and all. The participants feel more comfortable to answer in a group rather than in single. Some will be very much reserved to answer in single, but as a participant in a group, they can they can raise their voice and they can share their feelings like that. So it involves many participants viewpoints can be collected at one particular time. So demerits, there are chances of client and researcher bias. So merits we have seen, there are chances of client and researcher bias. It is difficult to moderate. So the interviewer should be the interviewer, or he is otherwise called as moderator. He should be very much skillful in order to stop the respondents unnecessary discussion, and every chance has to be given to all the participants. And it is difficult to code, analyze and interpret. So there may be data analysis, coding and interpretation is somewhat difficult because each person is giving different viewpoints, and it is not a representative of general population. So most of the time this type of data collection, you cannot generalize the findings to the general population, which is a major drawback for any research study. Next is telephonic interview. As I have told you earlier, the information can be collected through telephones also from the respondents. And the merits is more flexible. No need to schedule a time, no need for any physical infrastructure. Just a cell phone or a telephone is more than enough. So cost is relatively less. Access to the respondent is easy through the cell phone. Even if you are going to be in abroad, even if the participant is going to be somewhere in another country also, you can you can communicate through your telephone. And no field staff work is required, and no field staff is required. Difficult to establish rapport. In telephone you may not be able to establish a rapport between respondent and the interviewer. Surveys are limited to respondents who have no telephone facilities. So only with telephone facilities you can use this type of technique. If the person is not having any cell phone or a telephone, then again it is a problem. Then respondents characteristics, facial expressions and environment cannot be observed. So I told, when you are taking the interview, the facial expressions, the body language and the respondent spontaneity, characteristics, everything you have to observe. But here in your telephone you may not be able to see the other person's face. So you may not know what the other person, whether he is telling it genuinely or whether he is having an interest or attitude. Everything you may not be able to observe. Then possibility of bias, because whatever you are hearing, the interviewer is interpreting and they are writing without seeing them. So there may be chances of more bias in that in this type of information collecting. So interviewing process. So first you have to prepare for an interview. So first step is preparation for interview. You have to fix up an appointment. Your appearance and dress is very important. You have to be confident in the interview schedule. So just to go through the interview schedule priorly before starting an interview. Pre-interview introduction. So here the researcher introduce himself to all the respondents who are going to participate in the study respectfully. Identify respondents by name. Okay, so you have to represent the respondents by their name. Choose a setting with as little distraction as possible. Okay, so the interview place should be free from distractions as much as possible. Explain what is the main purpose of the interview, how long you are going to take, the time duration you have to mention to them. Developing rapport. After introduction, the researchers start developing rapport, that is good interpersonal relationship with the respondent. This is developed through confidence building and understanding the concerns of respondents, so that once this IPR, that is interpersonal relationship or rapport, is developed, then the chances of getting information from the respondents is going to be more easy, because they believe you, they develop trust with you, and they will be very much free with you. Then carrying interview forward. Start the interview. Ask only one question at a time. Don't go on ask 10 questions at a time, or 2 to 3 questions. Don't pose at the same time. So ask only one question at a time. Suppose if the question is not clear to the participants, you have to repeat the question if necessary. Listen carefully to the subject's answer, what answer they are giving and what it means to you. Suppose if you have any doubt in their answers also, what you can do, you can clarify it. So next is repeat the question if necessary and listen carefully to the subject's answer. Observe the subject's facial expression, gestures and tone of voice. The tone of voice is also very important. Suppose if he is not interested in telling the answer, the tone may be changed, or sometimes he will be very much excited for some questions, or sometimes he will be very much furious or angry with some questions. Do not show signs of surprise, shock or anger. So you should not show whatever they are responding. Don't react to the participants participants response. So do not hurry the interview. If sessions is too prolonged, introduce a stimulus. Okay, so you can give a break in between the interview if it is going to take a too much of time, so that the participants will also feel somewhat relaxed. Okay, a resting time or a break, a small break in between the interview sessions. Recording the information. Good information means whatever they are telling, you can note it down. Nowadays we are having video recording, tape recording, or even in our cell phones also you can record it. Okay, so these are all some of the things in recording the interview. Finally, you have to close the interview. After the interview, a polite leave of the respondent by friendly smile and saying goodbye, thank you to the participants is much more important in closing the interview in a very pleasantful manner. So, what are all the advantages of the interview process? They are used to obtain people's feelings, perceptions, attitudes, opinions, etc. Okay, so you can get the people's feelings, what they are thinking, their perceptions, their opinions or attitudes. High response rate is achieved. You can get the answers for all the questions. Response rate is very good. Responders own words are recorded, so which is going to be a proof for you. Meaning of questions, you can clarify the thing. Suppose if your question is not clear to the participant, if they are asking to clarify the question, you can clarify it. Disadvantages: it is very time consuming, and sometimes it involves too much of cost. Then high degree of chances of interviewer bias, which is one of the major drawback for the interview process. Hope this video has given a detailed explanation about interview process. So already I have posted a video on questionnaire. So this is interview process. The remaining methods of data collection I will be posting in my future videos. Thank you friends. Keep supporting to Science Easy Tech channel. As I have told earlier, my previous videos link I have given in description box, suggested end card, iCard also. Or you can watch our channel playlist Nursing Research and Statistics for more nursing research and statistic related videos. Thank you friends. Keep supporting to Science Easy Tech channel.